Okay guys, so what we are going to do here is we are going to redo the baking soda and vinegar reaction lab, but this time we're going to be focusing on the law of conservation. So the other day we went through and did the counting atoms to see how many atoms were in each of the compounds. Before we start the experiment, what I would like you guys to do is go through and calculate the number of atoms in each one of the reactants, which are the parts of the experiment going in, and figure out the total number of atoms that are there for the reactants. So that's what we're going to go through and do first. Okay, so how many sodium atoms are going to be in the baking soda? 1. The number of hydrogen atoms is going to be also 1. The carbon atoms is going to be 1. And the oxygen atoms are going to be 3. Okay, now we're moving on to the vinegar. So the vinegar, if you look at the equation, there's 2 H's in there for some reason, but they're separated. So we need to make sure we add those 2 together. So there's going to be a total of 4 hydrogen atoms in the baking soda. There's also going to be 2 carbon atoms in the baking soda.
Vinegar.
Oh, sorry, the vinegar. Oops. And then there's 2 oxygen atoms in the vinegar. The next thing you're going to do is go down to the bottom of this where the reactants are, and you're going to total them up. So you're going to add column 1 and column 2 together. So the sodium atom total is going to be 1 because there's only 1 sodium in it. Now you're going to take the hydrogen from the baking soda and add that to the hydrogen from the vinegar, and it will equal 5. We're going to do the same thing with the carbon, and that is going to be a total of 1 plus 2, so that's 3. And the oxygen is going to be a total of 5 as well. So that is the way we're going to calculate the reactants. Now we're going to move on and we are going to calculate the total of products in the equation. So we're going to go through and do the first column, which is where the salt is going to show up. And it's going to be Na, there's only 1 of them. The carbon, there is 2. The hydrogen, there is 3. And the oxygen, there is 2. Yes, the numbers are off a little bit, but they're just a little bit of a typo right there. They should be lowercase in the subscripts. Moving on to the next one, which is water. So water has 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. And the carbon has 1 carbon, and carbon dioxide has 1 carbon and 2 oxygens. Now we're going to go down and we're going to calculate the total of sodium, hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen in the products. So the sodium total is going to also be 1. We're going to add all 3 things up. There's hydrogen. There is 5 hydrogen total. There is 3 carbon total. And there is 5 oxygen total. Now you're going to look at both of those and see that there's something similar between them.